Test 1, 2, test 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to roll right into our next media availability. If I can have your attention here at Martinsville Speedway. We're pleased to be joined up front by Jay Frye, Vice President, General Manager, Red Bull Racing. Kasey Kahne, driver number 83, Red Bull Toyota. I'll just throw it over to Jay. Jay, maybe just talk about the addition of Kasey Kahne to the 83 car.
Well, obviously a lot of things.
Sit on.
Hello. Gotcha. Okay. A lot of things happened this week, and obviously we're very excited to get a head start in the 2011 season. This was something we obviously didn't anticipate happening, but it did, and we couldn't be more happy about it.
Okay, thanks, Jay. And Kasey Kahne driving the number 83 Red Bull Toyota this weekend here at Martinsville. You got to feel excited about that. And what's your thoughts about making your debut here at the tricky paperclip?
Well, I'm excited. It's a big change for myself. I've been doing really the same thing for 6.5 years, and to make a change like this, it's new people, it's new cars, manufacturer, sponsor. I mean, everything's different. So it'll be a big change for myself, and just starting to work with new people. But I'm looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to next year, and now it just we kind of have a little bit quicker start on that. And I was with the guys yesterday, putting seats in the cars and just trying to get prepared as well as we could for today and for this weekend. And the atmosphere and the way that the excitement up at Red Bull right now is, it was nice to be part of that. So I'm looking forward to the last 5 races and getting started this weekend.
Good stuff. We'll take some questions now for Jay or Kasey. I'm sure we'll have a few. Let's go with Jim and then Dustin and over to Tom. Go ahead.
Jim out of Charlotte Observer. Kasey, there's been a lot of speculation the last couple of days as to what led to this. Could you just go over some of the timeline of what brought you to this point?
Well, I think, really it's, to me, there's, I was leaving. I was going on starting next year, and it made sense for RPM to start working on their things for next year, and for myself to get with the Red Bull guys at this point. And so it's kind of a jump start on next year is what I see it as. And that's the biggest thing. It's been kind of a crazy week. There's been a lot of different things going on, and maybe different opinions on what happened or what's going to happen, that kind of stuff. But I'm looking forward to this weekend, and I'm happy that I'm in the Red Bull car, and hopefully we can I can work well with this group of guys and go pretty fast at times.
Okay, we'll go Dustin, Tom Jensen, and then David Newton.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Kasey, a couple things. One, if you can clarify, there's been speculation or reports about that you were owed money and that was a factor in this. Can you address that issue? First? I've got a couple of questions.
Well, on that side, I'm paid up to date from RPM. I'm paid up to date, so they've met their commitments there, and it's been really good that they have. I thank them for that.
Can you, I guess, is relief the word in how you feel now and being away from RPM and getting into this new situation? And can you also, some people also think that the last Saturday's incident was the final straw. Is that the case too?
Well, I don't know if it's relief, but it's definitely, it's my future, and it's something that I've been looking forward to. Was next year we get started a little bit earlier. Last weekend, Saturday night, we just to have a problem like we had on lap 30, that just doesn't happen on a track that you don't use very much brake at. And it had happened before, and we'd had things go on throughout the season. So it was, at that point in time, it was difficult, and it was, I think the timing of all this, made sense, and it was nice for me when it happened, and I think it's good for RPM when it happened also.
Let's go Tom Jensen, David Newton, Bob Pockris.
Kasey, Tom Jensen, Speed.com. There have been a lot of rumors swirling around about RPM, guys saying they were told the team won't even survive after this race. Do you expect the team to continue and finish out the season? And what were you hearing about the team's future?
Well, I've heard a lot. I think everybody has, and that's just speculation. I think it's a lot of talk, and for me, I certainly hope that RPM keeps rolling. I hope that they finish out this season and put together another great season next year. I mean, that's what I want them to do. I want that team to keep going. There's a lot of good people there that deserve to have jobs and deserve to be working on these race teams. And so for me, I hope they keep rolling for sure. And you'd have to ask RPM about some of the other stuff to get the right answers, because I think a lot of it could just be speculation.
Just a quick follow-up. Jay, with Kasey on board and Brian coming back next year, where does this leave Scott Speed for 2011?
Well, again, we're still monitoring Brian's health and his situation. So far, everything seems really good. Our plan is to have 2 cars. So obviously, in that situation, we have too many drivers. So again, then we have to figure out what to do. So at this point, we continue to monitor Brian and his health. We continue to monitor Scott and his performance. So we'll know more on that soon. But a lot of it's dependent on Brian and his health.
Okay, we'll go David Newton, Bob Pockris, Lee Spencer.
Yeah, Kasey, David Newton, ESPN.com. What were you told during this week about the financial situation at RPM, and did that play a role in them wanting to release or giving you your release? Did that release them of some financial burden?
Right. Actually, I've been able to kind of stay out of it and just start working on the Red Bull side. I've talked to Kenny and talked to the guys there, but as far as that stuff goes, I really have stayed out of it. So I'm not sure on that.
Okay, we'll go Bob Pockris, Lee Spencer, Joe Menzer.
Bob Pockris, Scene Daily. Did you ask for your release, or did they release you? And do you hope that Kenny Francis can join you over there before the end of the year?
Well, it was a mutual release, and for me, so I think that's a good thing for both sides, and they're happy about it, and we're happy about it. And on the Kenny Francis thing, he's going to stay there throughout the rest of the year. That's his deal, and next year he'll come over to Red Bull, but he's going to stay there. I'm going to work with Jimmy Elledge the rest of this year, and I look forward to it. I think it's, I think it should be fine.
We'll go Lee Spencer, Joe Menzer, Marty Smith.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Kasey, after getting out of the car last week, a sponsor and a fellow driver used the word prima donna to describe your behavior. How do you come back for that? Because, you've had a really, really rough time. It has not been all roses at RPM for sure. And, from going from the Evernham merger to the Gillettes to what's there now. How do you kind of clean that up? And for Jay, with Kenny Francis coming over there, what are you going to do with your extra crew chief?
I said, on the things that have happened in the past, that's the past, and we've gotten through them. I've worked hard to get through them. Everybody has that worked for Evernham, Gillette, RPM, that was part of it at that time. I don't know who the driver was, but it's what happened. I raced. I put a commitment in. I mean, anyone who questions my commitment doesn't know me very well and doesn't know how much I love the sport and how much I put into racing. I mean, I don't think there's anybody out there that puts as much in as I do throughout a week. I mean, some guys may not, but I feel like I do everything I need to do to make myself the best I can be. And we kept having problems. And I was sick to my stomach. It was time for me just to call it a day, and that's what I did. And, I'm happy I did it and ready to go on to this weekend.